guys, what's up? It's Joe Ready from Rady's Rise. We're back here at Mazda Nissan in Newport Richey, Florida, and guess what? I have Nissan's top selling vehicle. It's this right here. This is a 2023 Nissan Rogue. It's featured in one of my favorite colors. It's called Boulder Gray. But before we get into the SL trim of this compact crossover SUV, let's talk about what's going on here. SUVs, they're still big sellers no matter what size you're looking at. When you go compact, you're looking at the Rogue. You're looking at big players like the Toyota RAV4, the Honda CR-V, and of course the Mazda CX-5. What's interesting is lots of other key players have been added over the years, from the Kia Sportage and the Hyundai Tucson, and of course Mazda even has their long-lasting CX-5. Now, Nissan has made some big changes to the Rogue, and they've made some recent smaller changes to the Rogue. But what I want to find out is, if you're looking for the best compact crossover SUV, do you go Rogue or do you go Toyota RAV4? Let's go ahead, let's dive into this Rogue and find out. Right off the bat, like I said, the color. Boulder Gray just seems to fit it very nicely, a good modern color, and nothing too over the top. At the front of the business, you're gonna see that on the Rogue, they decided to do the twin lighting setup. So up top, you're gonna have your LED daytime running lamp. We have, of course, our turn signal, which is that old style incandescent light bulb. I am gonna have to zonk that. And down below, you are getting LED headlights. Functional corner air curtain, which is nice. And the way they sculpt the front fascia, aesthetically, I think it actually plays very well with the rest of their lineup. Now, when we come to the front, you'll notice the V-Motion grille, that bright, shiny chrome finish, the updated Nissan badge, and you have a little bit of gloss black on the top grille. Lower opening is all flat black with some bright metallic silver. But let me know what you think with the style of the Rogue compared to the RAV4. Now, as we rise up, I do like the way the hood fits very flush with the front grille. Super smooth lines. You have a little bit of a peak that rises up that flows right into your A-pillar. And then as we flow around the bend, what are we working with on this SL trim? So you're gonna find these 19-inch wheels, machined aluminum, gunmetal metallic gray. Simple design, but definitely works with our particular Rogue. I wish that the Rogue had painted fenders all the way around. Let me know how you feel about that, if you like the flat black or if you don't like the flat black. A cleaner style compared to the RAV4. The RAV4 has a little bit kind of oddball shape when it comes to their fenders and the way that they're opened and everything, but this is more of a contemporary style that's cleaner. Now, coming down the side of the vehicle, color matched on the mirror caps. We do have 360-degree cameras on our SL trim. Our turn signals, nice and small there. Bright, shiny metalwork only on the top. We do have our metallic silver roof rails, and this one has the optional crossbar. So you can get your cargo carrier, your mountain bike holder, kayaks, canoes, whatever you got, you could put it up top. I like the way there's color matched on the door handles, and just a little sprinkling of chrome on that side sill extension. Now, as we work our way back, just like the bigger Pathfinder, I like the way the line comes off the rear door into the rear fender. And that trim comes to a nice sharp point right before it hits the actual spoiler. So nice to have that clean style. And then when we get to the back, they did a great job, I think, on the redesign of this Rogue. So you're gonna have your LED brake lights. Love the way they shaped them. You got, of course, that short roof spoiler coming off the back. You do have the wiper exposed. The only compact crossover that doesn't have the wiper exposed is the Tucson. So let me know if you're gonna zonk that, if you would like to see it located underneath there. Did a great job with the Rogue name, the new Nissan badge. Just a little bit of shiny silver on top of the bumper to protect it when your kids are dragging their crap out of the back of the Rogue. And then working our way all the way down, very, very clean on the low bumper area. No fake exhaust, none of that garbage, just nice, clean style. Why don't we go ahead though, let's pop the hood because there's a surprise I wanna show you. All right guys, we got the hood popped. Here is the surprise. Underneath the hood, no longer does this have a 4-cylinder engine like the RAV4, like the CR-V. What you're looking at is a 3-cylinder engine. So it's an inline 3-cylinder turbocharged engine, 1.5 liters in displacement, puts out 201 horsepower. So the great news is that's more horsepower than a RAV4, than a CR-V, than a Tucson, and more horsepower than the older engine in this Nissan Rogue. 225 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to a CVT, 0 to 60 in about 7.7 seconds. Top speed is governed to 120 miles per hour. MPGs is where you're gonna come out the winner. 28 in the city, 34 on the highway, and the vehicle weighs 3,715 pounds. So let me know if you were surprised in the comment section down below that this has a 3-cylinder turbocharged engine. Do you care? Or are you more likely to want a naturally aspirated inline 4 that is in the RAV4? Let me know in that comment section. But why don't we go ahead? We're here. Let's start it up and see it roll. All right, guys, we're inside this 2023 Nissan Rogue, this being an SL trim in one of my favorite colors. What color is it? Yes, you're right, Boulder Gray. Now, I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I'm looking for a new compact crossover SUV. There seems to be like 30 of them to choose from. Is this Rogue really better than the RAV4? Well, I'm here to show you the details so that you can make that decision. But if you're wondering how much is this Rogue SL, this particular one has an MSRP of $38,900. Let's see what you get for the money. To the door panels, you'll notice two-tone. It's like a sort of like a Milky Way chocolate brown, and then you have the dark black soft touch material, contrast stitching, no gloss black, which is nice, even around the switchgear, and the armrest has soft material as well. Door pocket, though, is going to be a challenge. That is on the tighter side, so maybe just a double cheeseburger from Mickey D's and a small fry, and of course, a vanilla shake to wash it down. Now, going from the door panel to the dash, we got the Bose sound system in here, more of that soft touch material, some gloss black, but the good news is you're not really going to be touching this area unless you really want to be that jerk and be like, look, I'm putting fingerprints all over your gloss black. But as you slide in, you'll notice the two-tone, the Milky Way chocolate brown, maybe like a Three Musketeers brown, and the rest of the black. We have the upgraded 9-inch infotainment system. Now, if you keep going up the trims, you could get this as large as a 12.3-inch. Standard is 8-inch. So this is a 9-inch infotainment system. It's got your maps. It's got your wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto. I throw it into reverse. Camera quality is actually pretty damn good. They did a great job there with trajectory, your 360 cam, which is wonderful. Working our way down, AC vents integrated nicely. You do have your dual climate controls. You can also control the rear as well. 3 stages of heated seats. No ventilated seats on this trim, but we do have a heated steering wheel, which is nice, especially on a 100-degree Florida day. And then working your way down, USB-C, USB-A, 12-volt. You got a nice little tray here for 5 Twinkies, your start-stop button, soft touch material with the stitching. Down below, you could put a bag of Lay's. You could put a bag of some Cheetos or something for when you're getting hangry. 2 cup holders. We got the newer key fob, thankfully. Remote start, which is a nice touch. I'm digging this material because it sort of looks like wood, but it's not, and I like that. This is the electric shifter to control your CVT. And then, of course, you have soft material on the armrest, more of that stitching. Bombs away! What do we have in here? Besides some important papers, you could put, I would say, 3 caramel apples. Scratch that. Let me get 1 candy apple and 2 caramels. And you could put those in there. And then the seats. The soft material, the stitching, nice design, clean. You do have electric assist on the passenger. I have electric assist as the driver, and our trim has the panoramic sunroof, which is nice. I'm not going to open it all the way. It's hot. But why don't you come over here? I'll show you something really hot. The flat bottom steering wheel in this Rogue. Come on over. All right, guys, business time in this Rogue. We do have 2 memory seat settings. I like the way you got this beautiful aluminum sill plate where the Rogue name lights up at night. There's your seat controls, easy to get to. And then when it comes to room, I'm 6 feet tall. plenty of room in here. These seats are those anti-gravity, those NASA anti-gravity design seats. So of course you're gonna feel just like an astronaut, very comfortable. Maybe you want some astronaut ice cream. I wouldn't mind some right now, some real ice cream. The hell with astronaut ice cream. Steering wheel, flat bottom, with the tasteful stitching, flat black on all the switch gear. It is a manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel. And you do have paddles on the back of the wheel to go through the simulated gears. Because remember, this is a CVT. There are no gears in a CVT transmission. You do have a nice 7-inch display, digital, that you could go through a cornucopia of information as you scroll through, which is really nice. And then you have your analog tach and speedometer, coolant gauge, and fuel gauge. So very straightforward. But why don't we go ahead, let's get in the back seat and see if your passengers are gonna be happy you went Rogue rather than the other R1, the RAV4. Let's go check it out. It's time to get in the passenger side. Now, before you jump in, you'll notice that those doors open up a total 90 degrees. That's gonna really allow getting in and getting out to be a piece of cake. You do even have a little bit of aluminum sill for the passenger, which is nice as well. It's the little things that add up. I'm 6 feet tall still, and I got plenty of room. I'm not even close to the headliner, and that is with the panoramic sunroof. We have the manual security shades, easy to pick up and pull down. No pocket behind the driver, but you do have rear AC, temperature control, USB-C. Right, guys, cargo area time. You're gonna hit the button down below. Nice electric assist on this SL trim, and you're gonna be greeted to a very versatile, generous amount of space. You're looking at, with the rear seat up, 37 cubic feet of space. Of course, the seats fold down. They do a 60-40 split. Let me show you one of the cool things. First of all, you got these nooks on both sides for a gallon of milk, chocolate, of course. They come from brown cows. And then a box of Twinkies on the driver's side. The other thing you have is a 12-volt underneath that little circle cover right there. And then here's the other interesting thing. You could actually lower the floor in different ways. So you could actually take it and lift it up like this, or you could pull it all the way out. Whatever you want to do to make this work best for you, and each one moves separately. So you could actually remove this part all the way if you wanted to, or put it back. So you could actually raise and lower the floor at will in this Rogue. But why don't we go ahead? We got weird sounds going on because there's a lot of weird things happening here at Mazda Nissan. Let's go on throttle and see how this Rogue drives. All right, guys, we're in this 2023 Nissan Rogue. Remember, just like other Nissans, you do have the D mode selector that allows you to go from sport to standard to eco. I'm gonna put it in sport mode. I do like the way we have this nice large digital display in the center, easy to scroll through the important information. And even though they're still using the Jetco CVT transmissions, they have revised how they operate. So that is the good news when it comes to the transmission that's in these Rogues. Getting to the 9-inch infotainment system is well within reach. And you got plenty of space in here. When they went to an electric shifter, that really opened up underneath the center console to have that storage. Visibility is great out the front. You got your blind spot monitoring, your lane keep assist, and a lot of the materials in here feel fantastic. So the Rogue really has that going for it at this SL trim. Seats, they're supportive, they're comfortable, as they should be, because like I said, they're co-designed with NASA, being those zero gravity seats. Now, pulling away with this traffic here, with the sport mode, obviously that's going to change the throttle sensitivity and the steering sensitivity, but we're gonna go on throttle to showcase the 3-cylinder turbocharged engine. Nothing that's gonna blow anybody's doors off, but I want you to see what it is like so that you can make the right choice for yourself when purchasing your next compact crossover SUV. The great news is the MPGs. That's really where you're gonna come out on top. But nice to see just how easy it is to drive this Rogue. But going down the road here, very comfortable. The suspension is great. They did a great job when they redesigned it with changing up the chassis and everything. I'm gonna go on throttle from a roll here. On throttle. There's those simulated shifts. And it's gonna surprise you. With that variable compression turbo, it may not seem like it does a fantastic job on paper, but it's pretty peppy once you get going. And as you can see, it pulls all the way to red lines, which is nice. But on throttle, here we go. Into this twisty section here. Remember, this is front wheel drive, but very compliant. And the steering actually has a nice feel to it. It's not super numb or anything like that. And of course, this isn't a canyon carver by any means, but I always like to talk about how a vehicle communicates with you, because when the weather goes south or you're in a sandy situation, you're gonna want that good communication to help you feel confident and stable while you're still driving. But they did a great job with keeping the cabin quiet. And there's plenty of room, like I said, whether you're sitting up in the front or in the rear of the vehicle, the rear seats in the vehicle. I think for me, I would have liked to have seen a 4-cylinder turbo rather than a 3-cylinder turbo, but obviously they're trying to get better fuel economy out of this vehicle. But the dual climate control is nice. You got your heated seats, which we're not using today because it's already hot as heck, but if you're living in a colder climate area, you do have your heated seats, which are really nice. And tons of connectivity. All right, guys, been another great day out here in the hot sun at Mazda Nissan. Definitely got to thank Christian and the rest of the crew getting us access to this Boulder Gray Rogue SL trim. Let me know what you think. Are you going Rogue, or are you going to stick with the Toyota RAV4? Let me know down in the comment section. But if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Radies Rides family. Steven really enjoyed doing this Rogue because he is a huge Star Wars fan, actually has a full length of his back Darth Vader and a Stormtrooper holding hands tattooed on his back. So definitely let him know if you're a Star Wars fan like he is, or are you more into Star Trek, in that comment section. May the force be with you, Steven, and just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.